Yeah, I'm actually probably thinking about not worrying about the premieres at this point.
And
They're
and
pretty
we're
they're pretty
back, I
they're
think.
pretty fun, but oh, okay, cool. Unfortunate. Unfortunate, my dudes. But we will have to probably
Mm-hmm.
split this stream up again. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, let's go back to what's happening. What Can one of you guys tell me what the last thing that happened?
He tried to sign language at us.
That was a long time ago, Will.
He pointed to his badge saying Dr. Walter, and we
I'm
said
trying to see
Dr.
if
Walter.
they like the last thing in the VOD.
Mm-hmm.
Name. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even get to the gunpoint. Are you a DARP cameo?
I'll check.
Yeah, he's shown his name.
The last thing people remember is he showed his name.
One second.
Unfortunately, we do not understand sign language.
He seems to scratch his head a little bit, looking around the area. As he does, he then seems to like put a couple of hands up and then motion over toward his pocket. There you see what appears to be a seemingly a badge to this. Okay, so yeah, the last thing that was said was him showing off his name. That's fine. As he does show off his name to you guys again, you see the name Dr. Walters on his badge. He seems to again look very perturbed as he's looking around at you guys.
How can we help you, Doctor?
He looks to you guys, lets off a bit of a sigh. Again, just kind of like seemingly like puts a couple of hands up as if he's seemingly like they're kind of like sideways as if he's seemingly apologizing for the inconvenience. He points off toward the room that he's in.
You want us to go inside?
He nods.
Unfortunately, we do not know why you want us inside, and we have some matters we need to attend to. Right, Bug Vader?
Vader seems to be kind of like distracted by him. Looking intently, almost having a Vietnam flashback.
Vader?
Kind of like grabs his shoulder and shakes him a little.
What?
We have somewhere to be right now, right?
Yeah, but hold on. He's gonna look around for some paper and a pen.
You notice he seems to have a pen in his pocket above where his badge is.
Okay, then paper.
Do you say anything about that?
Is there any paper around?
Paper?
He looks to you, and then he starts like patting himself down, looking, trying to find something. He seems to pull out a small book from his pocket. As he does, you guys notice it to be what appears to be a checkbook. He looks to you guys, then looks to it. As he seems to get like a bit of a smile across his face, like ah. As he does, he seems to write down a number onto the checkbook and then show it off to you guys. He seems to write on the checkbook 20,000, where the amount of money he would pay would be. As he points off to it with his pen.
I was kind of hoping you'd write down words.
He can't write down words on his checkbook. He has to buy those checks, man.
Why do you want to give us money?
He motions to the door, and then he goes over to it and opens it a little bit. As he does, would the two of you like to roll me for your scans?
Alright.
Yome's like, we recognize this person. He won't talk to us, and now he's bribing us. I don't like this. I have shit to do.
Both of you roll me scan.
Oh no, he's after my body.
I put in inspiration, so I'm gonna do one more roll. Okay, 5.
That was the biggest roll you had?
Yeah.
Neither of
And
you
I
can.
rolled a 2.
Neither of you know what he's talking about. He's just kind of motioning to the door as if, ta-da. Like, obvious. It should be obvious once you guys are there, apparently.
We do not know what you wish to do with us.
You know what?
We need permission from our operator, and our operator is currently not here.
If you want, you can go. I'll figure out what he wants.
Vader!
I'm just really curious.
He better pay you.
Okay.
You better pay him.
She looks at him. She looks at him and like narrows her eyes a little. You pay him.
He seems to nod, like, yes, like, okay.
Closet Gremlin's like, that's my purse. I don't know you. Okay.
She's gonna move her way over here and she's gonna look at Bug Vader.
You make sure that nothing suspicious goes on. You are doing this without Alan's permission, and I will count on you.
What happened?
He is just, like, motioning to his door, like,
He's inviting you into his apartment, and he is offering you money. And I may not know a lot of things about humans, but I know what the connotations that could represent.
He throws his hands up. As he does, he starts making his way down the hall in a hurried pace.
Don't follow him. He's giving us money.
The door is still open. He has left you guys behind. He is looking for someone to help him.
I will go to.
Going in the door.
You make your way in the door, Bug Vader. As you do, you notice upon entering that his sink seems to be flooding.
Oh, crap!
She just peeks her head in as he walks in. What's going on?
Gotta go. You stay here. You try and do what you can. We need to find Quakeman.
Quakeman?
I'll find Quakeman. You deal with the sink.
Bug Vader, you know that now that you have the codes for the area, you are able to turn off water pressure and turn them back on and things of that nature.
He doing it. He going.
You make your way into the room. As you do, you immediately lock into his home network, and you shut down the water access to this area entirely. As that happens, the water begins to slow and completely stop.
She just walks out. She just walks out of her room. We fixed it.
He's like already over at like the fucking next room down, like pressing the bell button. He looks back to you guys. He looks back to you, Yome.
Well, mop.
It is fixed. You just need to clean up the water now.
He makes his way back towards you guys. As he does, he looks inside the room and seems to sigh and seems to have a bit of a sigh of relief.
Is that all?
He looks around the area. He starts like stepping into his room. Kind of as he does, the closer he gets to the kitchen area, the closer like you guys start seeing there's a little bit of water like seemingly strung off in like into his living room area. He seems to have the same kind of setup as Alan's mom does. As he goes inside, he lets out a bit of a sigh, looks off toward the closet area, which you notice does not have a handle on it. The doorway does not seem to be that like having any sort of handle whatsoever. Bug Vader, you notice that you could probably open that if you want, as he kind of motions off toward it.
Well, right now he's trying to see if he can get in contact with Quakeman. He just did part 1.
You want to leave?
Hold on, I didn't fix it. I need to do part 2. Gotta find the problem.
Oh.
You'd have to go inside the network if you were trying to do that.
You figure out what he wants here. I'm gonna go.
I have things I need to go do.
All right.
Don't you need to contact Quakeman, correct? You just said that.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't know my way around the network.
This guy seems to be pointing off toward the door.
Okay, looks the door. Is there one second here?
Again, it seems to be a door that it does not have a handle or anything on it. It seems to be a electronic door.
Tries to open it with electronic stuff.
You have access to his room. You open the door. It seems to be a utility closet. It seems to have mops. As he takes a mop out. He points off as he does take the mop. He kind of points over toward the sink as you notice that he does seem to have a PET there, but it seems to be on the fritz. It seems to be wet.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, he can see it, not me.
From what you can tell of it, he seems to not be able to contact his Navi, so he needed you to open the door and also to stop the water for him.
Yeah. All right, let's help you with that quick.
As he begins mopping up the floor in front of him. He seems to, at this point, like be a little bit more calm. He looks off toward the windows and kind of like motions to you. He motions to the PET, then he motions off toward the windows. You know that the windows can become screens if needed, because again, you guys were talking to Alan on your screens.
Yeah.
Would you like to turn on the screens, either of you?
Yep. Hey, do you have contact information to Quakeman?
He looks to you. He gives a shake of his head, like no.
Darn.
As he points off toward that area, really quickly, you open up the thing for him. Let me get something really quick. You guys see what appears to be a Navi inside. However, if I can find the thing, there you go. You notice that Navi seems to be badly hurt, if injured. As you look at it, it seems to be a normal nav. It is basically beyond help from what you can see. It looks just like what Alan's Navi looked like whenever you guys had found it. The Navi itself seems to be basically deleted. Bleh.
I'm so sorry.
And around the Navi, you see what appears to be some shrimpy viruses.
Well,
He puts a hand up. He puts a hand up to stop you from doing anything. As he does, he just seems to pull out the check, finish writing everything into it and hand it off towards you. He seems to think you've done what he asked you to do.
Are you sure? I can. Virus busting makes me feel good.
I mean, if you're going to leave the copy bot, then I guess I should take off your hands.
As he just seems to look off to you. You try to take it from his hands, and as he does, he just looks off to the both of you, looking back over there. You guys know that you do not have Alan with you currently, so going and fighting those things is probably a big risk.
She's not going in there. Fuck that.
Not to mention, you guys don't have are not connected to his PET even, so you guys won't be able to come back and heal yourselves if you guys have any big problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm helping.
This is quite a risk. We've done what he asked of us. He can probably contact someone more suitable for the virus job, Vader.
Points to his chest.
I mean, we are not connected to Alan's new PET. Savannah is not here. We do not know this network properly.
He looks at the two of you having your chat. As he does,
Yeah, she has,
seems to
hands on hips.
he seems to look around the room. He makes his way over toward his table and picks up a small notepad on there. You see that several pages of this notepad have already been taken up, but he does flip off to another page and begin writing in. As he does, thank you for aiding me. If you'd like to return, then you can. However, since you've turned off the source of the water, these water viruses shouldn't have anything to do here. If you wish to return and help, then you can. I need to get to work.
There, see? As long as there's no water here, these viruses shouldn't even be able to cause...
He then puts down underneath it, if you would like to help me mop a slight bit, I would not say no.
Closes his eyes. Wields the mop like a swordsman.
Yeah, you do that.
Yome, do you want to help him out at all?
There's that thing. How much water is around here?
It's a decent bit, and you know that Alan's mom has seemingly just went to sleep, so you could rush there if you'd like to. You don't have to.
Mop first, then I'm gonna bust those viruses.
Can we at least wait till Alan gets home? That way we can at least have maybe Savannah here? And thus we have a PET to go back to? He even said the viruses can wait.
Yeah, which is why I'm gonna mop now.
I guess we can get to it faster if I about. He needs to get to work though, so it'll just be the two of us. Do you know how long Alan's apartment?
You guys are on the same floor as the apartment.
Yeah.
You go to the apartment. I'll deal with this.
Fine. Don't forget that check then.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Now to roll to see if I'll remember the check.
As she seems to go to leave, he looks to you. He writes down, Would you mind if I head out? I'm already late."
Go ahead. I'll do the best I can.
Close the door behind you, he says, and then he just kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder.
All right.
The two of them leave. Yome, he goes down the opposite side of the hall from you, heading off back again toward the elevators you guys had came from.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna head over toward Alan's mom's room.
Yep, we're heading back to the apartment.
Bug Vader, while you are cleaning up the area here, you notice again all of these like shrimpy viruses seem to come up toward the window as you're there. Some of them even looking like they try to attack you through the window, but they can't.
Oh, you're ready for a fight, aren't you?
Again, according to this guy, they shouldn't be able to do much else since you turned off the water in this area. They seem to not be able to really affect much of anything else in the room. You turned off the water pressure and the water to the entire apartment. So until that comes back on, they don't really seem to have any way of doing any damage to this place.
Well, yeah, but I have to turn it on eventually.
Well, yeah, but he seems to think it can wait.
Yeah, he's gonna be at work the whole time.
Look, I just can't leave a job half finished.
Yes, you can.
That's up to you, man. You remember these things from back over at the theater. They were pretty strong back then. And that was whenever you had battle chips and was able to go back and heal if you wanted. and there was less than 4 of them.
Yeah, dude, this spell's dumb idea.
I'm just saying.
Don't fight. Don't fight them.
As you finish
They
up
can
mopping, what would you like to do, Bug Vader?
Well, first make sure everything's neat and tidy.
You get the counters, you get the floor, you check to see if there's any water damage. Everything seems okay. You even get underneath the sink for him, as there was like a good pile up underneath there. As things were going on, you do quite a good job. You make sure that the walls and like the bottoms where like the creases are dry and everything of that nature. And with that, you also like basically turn on some of the ventilation to hopefully take some of the moisture out of the air.
All right, now he's going to see if he can find a way to contact Quakeman.
You know that he said he was making his way back toward Alan's mom's office.
Let's head towards there.
Okay.
I'll bring the check with me.
Are you sure you don't want to leave it? Like, that seems like a lot of money for doing nothing, Vader. Can you really accept something like that?
Look, there's one thing I've learned. Yome was scary when she was yelling at me.
You take the check and you head out to see if you can go off toward Alan's mom's room. As you do, Yome.
Yeah.
You make it back into the room. As you do, the copybot R is still there, and you do not see Alan's mom. Placing down your ingredients up over on the table, you do look off toward her room, as you do notice through her open door, she has basically collapsed on her bed. Just like Alan, she seems to just be kind of like over top of the blankets.
How open is the door?
It is completely open.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Throw blanket. Shuffle out. And she's literally gonna do it in like the most passe way, just like grab the ends, fleh. Not like she did with Alan, where it was like nice, snug. No, fuck you.
She heard that, and she immediately throws her badge at you and makes you like leave the copybot and locks you in her office.
Nope. She didn't say that.
Anyway.
Just flip, haphazardly throws the blanket over. Yeet. We're gonna. Is Alan's room open?
Alan's room is indeed open.
Yeet. Okay. Just be like, I'm in Alan's room. I'm in Alan's.
I mean, she's the one that opened the evil
know.
tape, so you can go in there. She doesn't seem to have any problem with you going in there.
Can I sit? Can how close can I get on the bed? Can I get on this bed?
Yeah, you can get on the bed.
Huh. That's the thing of like she like lays on the bed and she's like, I couldn't get on it if Alan.
Do you want to go try to get on the bed with her?
Yeah, I'll try.
You make your way over. As you do, you get as close to you as you can to the bed there, and it seems nothing stopping you from getting in bed with her.
I see.
It seemed to only stop you when you were trying to get in bed with Alan.
It's not overprotectiveness, it's jealousy.
It's that thing where it's like, that is a very intricate set of permissions. If-else statements.
With that
If
being
Alan
said,
on bed-
it might have not even stopped you from kissing Savannah.
Huh. Well, I'm not gonna tell. Well, we've deduced at the most that like if I couldn't do anything, it definitely wasn't gonna be with Alan. Yeah, that's that sits on the bed, just like contemplates like, oh, okay, yeah, no. If Alan, no. If Alan, no. If anyone else, fine, sure, whatever. I don't care.
Hear the law of robotics. Don't fuck my son.
That is very intricate and specific. I wonder how entirely she was able to code that. Good to know.
You kind of look at her while she's sleeping, and you're like, she seems to have Alan's hair.
He really takes after his father more.
Just that sit on bed, lay on bed, be on bed. Be the bed. No.
You lay on bed?
Yeah, just like a quick lay down, just like this is how it feels to lay down.
As you lay on bed, you feel that the other side of the bed shifts. As it does, an arm seems to come around you. As you look over, you notice that she is very close to you, her arm around you, and she seems to basically be holding you while in the bed.
Oh no. This is just that thing that like very soft spoken. I have made a mistake.
Do you continue to lay there?
I am going to try to get out of this situation because I need to do stuff. I can't if she keeps me on this bed.
Are you gonna do it even? Are you gonna do it even without waking it? Like even without worry about waking her up? I mean, if you move, she might wake her. She might wake up.
I do not wish to wake her, but depending on how tired she is, she might just completely sleep through it.
Maybe.
Just like Yeah. No. I just gotta be really careful with how I get out of this bed.
I'm gonna tell you now. I'm not gonna give her any inspiration for her to roll against it.
That's great because I'm using inspiration again.
Hey,
I am not waking this bitch up.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not my turn, and this wouldn't involve me in any way, if I put a card of destiny in relation to this circumstance, would it affect Yome and not me?
I guess it depends on the card, huh? As you're just going toward her office, you randomly explode.
No, the check!
You're
no,
right.
the money!
Fine. No card of destiny, just because I don't want the money to explode.
I need you to roll. I need you to roll me. Go ahead and roll me for your sync.
Alrighty. Fuck.
Again, I'm not rolling for her. I'm not giving her any extra stuff. So if she gets low enough, she'll probably wake up.
That is a 16. That is a 3. That is a 6. That is a 5. I think last roll. And another 5. So 16 was my highest roll.
16 plus 3 is a 19. I will say, if she rolls a 9 or less, I'll give you 8 or less. If she rolls an 8 or less, she wakes up. How about that?
Ooh, that seems... I don't like those odds, man.
I mean, it's better than 50-50.
That's true.
Can I give Alan's mom a card destiny?
It's 3. 3.
So...
What do you mean you're re-rolling?
Well, a 3
you
would... Just a second.
Wait.
No matter what, something is going to happen now. She rolled below a 9. Or below an 8. Okay. So, the first roll was below an 8. Unfortunately, you are not able to leave without her knowing so. However, the second roll was something that she does share with Alan. The second roll was a stress roll.
Huh.
She got pretty low. I'm going to say that because of that, she's in a bit of a deeper sleep than normal. As you attempt to leave, I will say you don't wake her up. However, she does seem to still have a grip on you.
Am I at least off the bed?
As you notice, you look back at her, she seems to have half-opened eyes looking over at you.
Good morning.
She's gonna say it really softly, like,
Good morning.
You look at her. As you do, you see that she doesn't seem to respond to your good morning at all.
is she just like holding onto my hand or something? Like, am I off this bed?
She's holding on to your wrist.
Okay, but most of me is off of this bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were holding on to my hand. Can you please let me go?
Where are you going?
To get soup.
I am going to make breakfast.
Breakfast?
Remember? Remember? I am making breakfast.
You're making breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing here?
I've been here the whole time, ma'am.
Cut the shit, Martin.
I am not Martin. Please let me go.
This is like gentle tugs at the arm, just like,
I am not Mr. Martin. Please let me go, ma'am.
I told you, this is my time.
Please let me go. I look nothing like him. Excuse that. I should be insulted, in fact. Please let me go.
So you'd prefer her to realize it's you.
If you're gonna make something, then make it. But Alan's already at school.
Let me go.
tug, 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 tug. Just like the lightest tugs, but she's just like, tug, tug, tug.
You're so noisy. When you're done, get out. She just kind of like lays her head down.
She's still holding on.
This must have been the argument that caused the divorce.
She is still holding on. However, she seems to lay her head back down onto the pillow that's there.
What do you want for breakfast?
What do you think, Martin? Same thing as usual.
Of course. Honey.
Don't start that shit, Martin.
Smooth.
She lets go as you say that.
Oh, perfect. Sure thing, Lisa.
As you say that, she seems to quiet down a bit, and you actually do see whenever he said "honey," she seemed very mad. But once you said Lisa, she seemed to slightly smile into her pillow a bit.
Don't drool on your pillow again.
Don't make me hit you, Martin.
Leaves. Blows raspberry and...
You son of a bitch. I'm kidding. I'm gonna get up and kick your ass, Martin.
That's my purse. I don't know you, kicks her.
As she continues to lay there, you leave the room.
It's just like, it's that thing of like, she like slightly mutters to herself, their sex life must have been very interesting. And then she's just gonna rubbing her hand and
I mean, here's the thing. Whenever she had spoken to you, she said, "What are you doing here, Martin? This is supposed to be my time." It doesn't seem like she was dreaming of anything of like still being together.
Oh no, definitely no. She definitely picked up on that. Like, this is my time to be around Alan. Like, definitely. No, it's just that thing of like, wow, this is how they. Ow, oof. That must have sucked. Bye.
It's better that y'all may have the situation than someone like Bug could be like,
"Why were you laying in the bed with her, Bug?"
So, You know that large amount of money that you gave me? Where'd you put it, Lisa?
Alan got a girl pregnant. No.
Do you leave without saying anything else?
Uh, um, I'm thinking she's thinking it's, you know, at the risk of potentially legitimately waking her. No,
You
I've got
know,
nothing.
upon looking at this, the mother seems to be acting very similar to how Alan was acting before.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with the whole dream stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
but
you
I'm
know
not,
that she probably isn't going to wake up unless something extremely shocking happens.
Alan's pregnant.
but she needs sleep.
Just
It's
making
that thing
sure.
of.
If you want to
It's
leave,
that
you
thing of,
definitely
like,
can leave.
It's that thing of if right now she's having that experience similar to Alan, she could wake her up, but she's not entirely sure how long she has had to sleep, and if she wakes her up and she decides
Definitely.
now I'm going to be awake, she's going to be pissy when she's making food.
Definitely. It's up to you.
So she will instead make breakfast and then wake her up.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Look at all these nice apples you brought.
those are the fake ones. Those are fake.
All right, Yome, you begin to start making things. I'm gonna roll for her really quick.
Why did you feed me plastic apples? They represent your body.
They represent your love for Alan, artificial and cold.
I was going for plastic surgery, but that works.
That's a nat 20. Is she gonna like hard body sleepwalk in this bitch?
She seems to come out as you start making food. As she does, you notice that she seems to have her eyes seemingly, again, like just halfway open. She makes her way out and sits down in her chair.
She's probably just boiling some water right now as like the oats are sitting there with like cinnamon and sugar and shit. She's just like looks at her while she's like slicing the apples into like chunks the way Alan's dad taught her. She'll be doing what she usually does, with every couple minutes glancing back at Alan's mom.
She seems to fiddle around and reach over toward the coffee table. She kind of slips out of the chair she's in while she does it. As she slips out of it, she finally does reach over, and it seems like she puts her hand over toward the PET that's on the coffee table. However, it seems to be slightly off, and instead she seems to grab the remote control. As she does, she scrambles over and sits on the couch. As she starts talking to the remote control.
Miss Garnet?
Quake man. How did everything go last night?
Miss Garnet?
Yes, what is it, Quake man?
Shouldn't you still be asleep?
Shouldn't you mind your fucking business, Quick
Don't
Man?
get
Don't
on.
make me better.
Don't get on to me like that, Quake man. I already went to sleep early last night.
It's already one thing to confuse me with your husband and another thing to now I'm just insulted.
Did everything
She kind of
go
says under her
well?
breath.
Everything went swimmingly, Miss.
Goes back to cutting apples and oats and shit.
Thank you, Quake man. You're one of the few people I can count on around this place.
Oh, you flatter me, Miss Garnet.
You see her smile toward the remote. She just kind of like leans back. As she does, she seems to fling, but not like throw. She seems to like move her arm over as if she's pointing the remote over at the screens, as if she's expecting Quake Man to go onto the screens.
It's even worse than Alan's, I see.
As she does that, she just kind of drops the remote and just kind of
Oh.
lays there looking up at the ceiling.
Oh,
God.
Quakeman, I dreamed of Martin again.
How far along am I here with these apples and oats and and water boiling and shit?
You're doing your best. As you are boiling the water and doing your things, first things first. Let's roll for the apples. Why don't we? You learned how to do them a little bit better. Go ahead and roll me for your sink.
I'm gonna put in inspiration.
Covering them in sugar and cinnamon and baking them.
That is a 6. Holy crap! With the exception of a couple, my rolls have been
Rolls have been pretty
utterly
shit today.
They have been, yeah, that's another 6. They have been utterly poopy.
Maybe it's just because you're distracted by what's happening over there. Again, you remember it
Yeah.
happening with Alan, so you're a little bit
Mhm.
distracted.
Yeah.
You seem to
You
cut
know-
you seem to cut the apples in the way that you had cut them the first time, not really paying too much attention. And by the time you noticed that, you'd already put the cinnamon and sugar all over them, putting them into the oven. Roll me again.
Okay, one sec. Inspiration.
You know this roll ratio, Squeaky? Welcome
Yeah.
to my life.
That is
8?
an 8. Yeah, but even sacrificing inspiration doesn't seem to work. That is a 12.
That is going to be 15 altogether. You do pretty well at baking them entirely. As you do so, they seem to look pretty nice upon coming out. You do the little bit of a glaze type of thing that Alan's father showed you how to do. And as you're boiling the water, go and getting the actual oats and things ready, roll me for one final sink. Most of these dishes go for 3 rolls. This one's a very simple one, so we're gonna go all 3 of them being sink rolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna put just 1 inspiration in this.
As Dodge said, yeah, that is how Will rolls. If
That
he's
is
gonna
3.
roll bad, no amount of inspiration stops it.
And a 16.
Hell yeah, that's almost a 1.
Yeah, holy crap. Fuck.
As the rest of things seem to come out very well, it's just the apples are a little bit weird, but it's fine. No one's gonna care.
They're gonna be on the side anyway, so
You're just putting them on the side?
that's fine. Yeah, because Alan's dad was like, if you make it too extra, she's gonna be all like, oh, it's so extra. So putting it on the side was.
I mean, he also
would be
said
like,
just fucking do it, but whatever.
she'll put a couple. She'll put a couple of the prettier apple pieces, and then leave the spares on the side.
You want to bring her the oatmeal?
She's gonna put it on. She's gonna put it on the coffee table, and then she's gonna walk up to her.
Miss Garnet, if
Quakeman,
Miss
I was
Garn?
wondering, why is it did you come to me?
Excuse me?
Why is it did you come to me, Quakeman?
No particular reason whatsoever, because I am not Quakeman.
Ah, the philosophy shit again.
You really are very useful.
It is good to have purpose.
Excuse me. She starts laying down on the pillow that's beside her.
Are you going back to sleep now, Miss Garnet? Breakfast is ready.
She looks over towards you again, eyes half open. As she does, in my state, I'll probably just dribble them down my face.
Okay.
She's laying down on the couch, right?
Yeah, she just has her head on the pillow, and she's just kind of hugging at it.
I'm gonna.
But she's still looking straight at you.
I'm gonna grab her hand. I'm gonna kneel down next to this couch and grab her hand.
Miss Garnet? Miss Garnet?
You're not Quakeman.
No, I am not. And you are clearly not in your
Quakeman
right of mind.
doesn't have fingers.
As
Yeah.
Quakeman is eavesdropping, looks down at hands.
That is correct. I am not Quakeman because Quakeman does not have fingers. You are also not in your right state of mind, so this might hurt for a bit, but it will wake you up before you say something you will probably regret. Okay?
Am I hallucinating again?
Most likely. But I will help you make it better. I will help make it better.
And I'm gonna, you know how like the top of skin on your hand,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna pinch it. You're gonna pinch it. That hurts when you pinch it.
You're using the top of the skin on the top of her hand?
The skin on the top of the hand.
You try to pinch it. It doesn't work.
Uh,
Remember, you can't
pinch.
cause harm.
I can't like pat her face.
You can pat her face, you just can't do it with the intent of causing harm.
Okay. Pat, pat.
She looks to you.
That's
Wake up.
the ultimate pain I'm gonna regret.
What are you doing?
Wake up. Breakfast is ready.
You have to hit harder than that.
I am not slapping you.
She puts her arms out towards you. Pick me up.
Looks at the oatmeal on the coffee table.
Do you consent to being picked up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to pick her up. Or attempt to.
You do. Again, you're inside of a copy bot. You're pretty fine. Even if it is just the public one, you're doing pretty fine in it.
What do I do now?
Take me to the bathroom.
Okay.
Walk, walk, walk.
We'll use shock.
Shock. It is so strange how she is consciously unconscious.
I have been through this a lot.
Do you know that Alan
I
goes
also
through this?
nat 20'd.
Did you know that Alan goes through this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why?
I guess it's just something he got from me.
What causes it?
I believe it's hereditary.
Hereditary?
My mother also did things like this.
Huh. Is there a name for this?
I believe it's an advanced form of sleep grasping. Although,
Sleep grasping.
although to be fair, it could be any number of sleep-related afflictions.
I see. It is surprising how you are so aware of it, but quite impressive.
Thank you, person.
I'm hoping. And will you have any memory of this when you truly...
To an extent, I will probably remember whatever shock had happened to wake me up.
Okay.
You remember that again whenever you woke Alan up, the big shock that happened was you giving him that smooch. As
That
he
was the
seemed to
pinch
mostly,
afterwards.
as he seemed to mostly remember, like a little bit before that. But again, you woke him up very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What am I supposed to do in the bathroom? We are here now, in the bathroom.
We're supposed to use shock. Can you not use your imagination?
Drops on the floor. No.
Am I supposed to put you in the bathtub?
There you go.
Okay.
Puts her in the bathtub.
Hold
Oh,
on.
your socks. Or shoes, or whatever it is that you're wearing on your...
Can you take my jacket, please?
Yes, of course.
Also, any electronics I'm wearing if I am.
Yes.
Damn.
She doesn't
Well,
appear
electron-
she doesn't appear to be wearing any.
You aren't wearing any.
Thank you.
Okay, you remove jacket, fold it nicely, and put it on top of toilet. Make sure toilet is covered so I don't throw the jacket in the toilet.
This as well, please. She motions to her skirt.
I am not undressing you.
She looks annoyed towards you. I have to go to work in the morning.
Do you not have other clothing?
What an annoying girl.
Well, at least you're not confusing me with Quake Man.
Suppose you're right. Into the tub, then.
Blip.
You set her down in the tub.
Yep.
As you do, draw the curtain, please.
Of course.
Draws curtain.
Now what?
You hear you just hear pats coming from the other side of the curtain as she seems to be like kicking at the water. She's like trying to kick at it to start it, but she seems to be kicking exactly the wrong areas.
Can I peek at that side of the curtain that she's trying to kick at?
Yeah, definitely. She seems to be kicking at the water faucets.
Uh,
However, again, she seems to mostly just be hitting the wall.
Can I reach the water faucet without like opening the curtain?
You can try.
She can try.
Yes, you can.
okay. I can help with that without unfolding the curtain.
Kick, kick, kick.
Is it like this?
And she's gonna flip a switch if there is on one.
And
one
water begins to come out from the faucet. As it
And
does,
I'm leaving.
it begins to fill up the tub beneath her as her entire butt/back gets erupted in cold water. You said you leave?
She's gonna grab the jacket that was on the toilet seat. She's gonna go back into the living room, and she's gonna just hold on.
As you have the time to grab the jacket and everything like that, you hear her let out a surprised yell while inside of the thing and start flailing around.
Actually no, she's gonna put the coat down. She's gonna walk out of the bathroom, count to 3.
Oh my goodness, Miss Garnet!
Oh my god. We'll see if that works. All right, let me roll for her intelligence here.
Just like sets the jacket down, walks out of the room, waits a little bit.
Roll me Link. We'll see if you beat her intelligence. Roll me Link.
I'm not, but I'm gonna put.
She got a 16 altogether for her intelligence.
No, actually no. Yeah, I'm putting 2 inspiration in this. Cause man, wouldn't it be great if that worked? It probably isn't though. Oh man, last roll. Come
Third
on.
roll.
Don't do this to me, dice. I've been good to you.
It was almost a 16.
It was almost a 16, but it wasn't meant to be. That's okay.
As she flails around inside, you eventually see from the other side she leans up and turns the faucet off herself. As she does, she pulls the curtain, looking daggers out towards you.
Good morning. You told me to.
Close the door.
Of course.
Closes door.
With you still in or with you out?
With me out.
There you go. As you make your way out, waiting for her to get herself out of there.
I'm just gonna sit right here in front of the elevator. hands on her lap like so.
So how's this oatmeal idea going?
After a good 10 minutes, she steps her way out. You notice that she seems to have taken the liberty to finish her abrupt shower.
That's that thing of like, again, she's just her legs are. She is sitting like the queen, like the royal queen would demand of her.
You know it's gonna go great with that cold shower.
Hot
The now
oatmeal.
cold oatmeal.
No, it's hot still. It's still steaming slightly.
It's been within it's been out for like 10 minutes.
It's fine. It's still hot.
You put something over it.
Yeah.
You covered it.
Yeah. It's just, again, she is sitting she is sitting hands on her lap, legs firmly together, back straight in perfect posture.
She seems to come out. She is wearing a couple of towels. As she comes out, she goes and sits down on her chair, again looking over at you like with some sort of mix of anger and, from what you can tell, potentially embarrassment.
Yep.
As she looks over at you.
She's just looking straight on ahead. She's not even looking at her.
Good morning, wife.exe.
Good morning, Good morning, Miss Garnet.
She looks at the table in front of you, looks back to you.
Holds hand out towards oatmeal.
I have prepared breakfast.
Of
As
course. Let me come and have it. She makes her way over towards you and sits down beside you on the couch.
She is still staring straight ahead. Her hand that was held out towards the oatmeal goes back to her lap.
Bug Vader opens door. Hey, what do you want me to do with this mud? Nope. Closes door.
What do you want me to do with this money? Run far away. Never return. Never return, Simba. Run away and never return.
She looks down at the oatmeal. She takes the small plate off the top of it, and as she looks down at it, she sees that you actually made something. However, that doesn't seem to really cross her mind much, as she just dumps the rest of the apples into it and just uses a fork to just kind of mix it around.
She is still it is like Yome has frozen. She is just sitting there.
Eyes just wide, a smile on her face.
Yep. Eyes wide, smile, back straight, legs legs together, hands on lap.
As she takes quite a couple of mouthfuls into it. She actually takes probably more than she immediately probably wanted to. As she does sit it down onto the table in front of her, looking back over at you. Tell me, when did you notice?
Notice what, Miss Garnet?
When did you notice a problem with the bot?
A problem with the bot?
She motions to the copy bot that's still in the room.
I can't be in two copy bots at once, Miss Garnet.
Mm-hmm. And Bug Vader was in the other one whenever I saw him today.
Yes.
So which one are you in? The one that's right there?
No.
Well? Then which one are you in?
I am in a publicly issued copy bot.
So when did you find out?
I found out last night when I couldn't find any food anywhere in the apartment complex.
She takes another bite of her oatmeal.
Alan was able to deduce that the copy bots had been tampered with in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah? How did he do that?
Curious one, you see. Do you want an honest answer, or do you want me to not give you an answer?
If I ask a question, I would like an answer to it.
Alan simply deduced that you might have done something to the copybot because the tapes were down, and he doesn't think that you would do that without any good reason, or knowing that your bases would be covered.
So it was Alan who figured it out then?
Of course. If there are any security cameras in this room, you are more than free to check them out.
I would never put cameras in here.
Of course not.
That's the thing of when she says cameras, she holds out her hand kind of like, and please move this way, and then she back to her lap. It's that thing she goes to that like that flick pose where she's like, right this way. Back to the laps.
So why oatmeal?
Why oatmeal? Well, there was no food in the house, but I did remember that Savannah has oatmeal at her house because she feeds her grandmother it. So I thought, oatmeal, that is a balanced and well-healthy breakfast full of fiber and vitamins and minerals.
So you made this all by yourself?
Yes.
Then where did he go?
He?
He was here earlier, wasn't he?
Who?
Where's Martin?
Martin was never here.
She puts the bowl down. Bullshit.
Why would he be here? You can even check with Scilab records to see if a Martin at any point in time appeared.
She does the flick pose again. Puts her hand down.
But he has not.
Roll Link.
My last 2 inspiration. He was never fucking here, man.
Support.
You'd think it was a
That's
good idea
another
to say that.
Oh my
Renee
god!
This is how it feels, Squeaky.
Yeah, it doesn't
Welcome
work.
to my shoes.
Fuck you.
She looks to you. Then if he wasn't here, then who was in...
In your room? Is
It was
something
you
wrong
then?
with this- Yes. I was checking to see if you were waking up soon.
By laying in bed with me.
I have never laid in a bed before, so I was curious.
You just have to use the word curious.
Takes another bite of the oatmeal. Well, congratulations.
Is it good?
I don't think that matters. You did what I told you to do. Congratulations. You managed to backdoor your way into doing something. I guess that's all I can really ask.
Mm, I hope you like it. Not Smokeman. Quakeman told me to keep an eye on if you started stirring.
He told me to go to bed last night. Said that he was going to go off and do the remainder of the work that I needed to do. Changing out the codes and whatnot. Don't worry about him. He's just a worrywart. Always looking after what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that wasn't him here earlier then, too?
No, you were talking in your sleep, miss.
Right. I remember around the end of it.
Then you remember you telling me to turn on the shower?
Yes, I remember me telling you to put me where I was at.
Okay, good.
It's a little bit much. The apples and the cinnamon. I could have just did with sugar.
Mm-hmm. I thought it would be best to make it special, but I will take note for next time that you
Mhm.
prefer it more plain.
I'll be sure to bring all the food back today, so you can try
Mhm.
again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That would very much be appreciated. I owe Savannah 1
She holds up her finger 1,
oatmeal.
back on her lap.
You owe Savannah and oatmeal?
Mm-hmm. That's where I got it from.
She just kind of leans back, still having the oatmeal in her lap. It's just kind of like on the towel that she has wrapped around her. She looks over at you.
I am sorry again for the circumstances in which you have woken up.
It happens. It's more embarrassing than anything.
But it is
You had
Quite-
mentioned...
mm,
You had mentioned that you had mentioned asking about what happened and said that Alan was going through this.
Yes. You seem to be
How
more
deep has he
aware.
been getting?
How long ago was that episode?
In game, it was just last week that it happened.
Just last week.
That doesn't really answer the question.
What do you mean, how deep? In what context, Miss Garnet?
How deep was his sleep? Was he knowledgeable of anything? Did he just walk around?
I had woken him up and prepared breakfast, and it seemed as if his personality had done a 180 flip.
You lose a lot of your inhibitions whenever you're like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing seems to really matter anymore, and you think, I guess, without anything holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he's gotten that much. Maybe he's growing up a little bit faster than I thought. Hopefully it doesn't take over anything for him. I know that whenever I was a teenager, it was a little rough.
It seemed, once he truly woke up, he seemed rather distressed, and he apologized.
Apologized?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would apologize for just walking around in a weird daze, wouldn't he?
He did not walk around in a daze. He just acted unlike himself. Or at least the himself that I had been accustomed to before that.
Then what was he apologizing for?
He called me sweet.
I bet you love that.
Well, everyone likes being complimented.
True.
I thought nothing of it.
Takes another bite.
I think, as distraught as he was about it, it was a very radiant confidence. I wish that, with time, Alan can hone that for himself when he is conscious.
You want him to be able to call you sweet and whenever he's conscious?
That is not what I meant. Holds out hand. That is not what I meant.
What else did he do that made you so impressed by it?
You are his mother.
Okay. Blink, blink. What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure if I should divulge Alan's privacy. And I also do not wish to stir up any already rocky and shaky ground.
The more you're saying it, the worse it's starting to sound.
He kissed me.
Oh, okay. Takes another bite of her oatmeal.
That is it. It is all he did.
Okay.
And that is not what I mean when I say that I wish he could be more confident.
No, I agree. If you were to see him do something like that, that is very much against what he usually does in life. A little bit more assertive.
Yes. A bit more adamant and a more go-getter attitude towards the things he wants.
I wish he was like that as well, to be honest. There's a difference between ourselves whenever we're like that and how we actually act. Whatever he did, he wasn't really in control of. So I don't really want to say anything that could hurt you or him by saying that. But again, it is a way that we act without anything holding us back. You could look into it if you wish, or you could leave it as it is. He either really wanted to do it, or again, it could just be he himself doing anything. I'm sure that any boy his age would want to kiss a pretty girl.
Yes, you're right. There's probably nothing more to it than that.
Yome, was it? Sorry
Yes.
about earlier. Didn't
No,
mean
it
to
is-
call you that maliciously. I was a little
No,
pissed, you
that's-
see.
I assumed as much, and thus do not hold it against you.
And because you were able to do this, I guess I should apologize for what I did yesterday. Although I will tell you, even if I did apologize, I wouldn't really mean a lot of it.
That is a shame.
I'm impressed that you were able to do what you did, though, if that makes you feel any better. I don't think I would mean an apology, but I do genuinely mean that I am impressed, if that makes you feel any better.
It does. I think it would be best for Alan if everyone got along and there was no animosity. Alan is my priority, you see.
Got it. I'll stop interfering.
Interfering?
If Alan truly just wants to stay where he is, then that's up to him, I guess, in the future. He's a growing boy, after all. There isn't really a lot of reason for him to come and visit me. And it might be a lot easier for him than going between two houses.
I do not think he does not want to see you. I think he enjoys your company as much, if not sometimes more than his.
Did you not see him yesterday? He's fed up with me, and I already know.
Why do you think that?
I could barely get him to come and kiss me goodnight last night.
He was preoccupied with what was going on with.
He yelled at me earlier that day as well, whenever I was talking to the two of you.
That's because he probably felt you were imposing a bit too much, and
Not to mention that boy's always here. He doesn't want to be here, Yome. There's nothing here that he can't get back at his dad's.
he likes being around you. He genuinely does.
That's where she's like, she's gonna break this pose and actually turn to her.
He really does love you.
You look over at her, as you do notice that she's just kind of like looking down into the oatmeal as she's been talking to you.
He truly does wish to be around you, and he does love you. But I think you might be somewhat smothering. It is like think of a rabbit. If you pick up a rabbit, it will be fine. But if you hold it too strongly, if you hold it too tightly, you can hurt it, and it will shake and wobble and not wish to be held anymore. But that does not mean it hates you. It just does not like the way you are handling it. Does that make sense? Alan is like a rabbit. He is very soft, you see. I think that if you give Alan space, if you give Alan freedom and acknowledge that he has wants and needs and drives of his own without directing him all the time, then when there are moments that he feels that he cannot advance further or he is confused, he will know his mother is there to help him because she understands him. Does that make sense? Alan does not spend as much time with his father as you might. Sometimes he is barely even home. Alan is
Really?
alone a lot. Mm-hmm. Which is why he really enjoys our company. He does not want to lose us. When he had his sleep pattern, when he acted off, the night before we died, and he was very, very worried about us. Do you remember? He contacted you.
Yeah, I remember.
He spent the whole night because we would not restart, and he was very, very worried.
This usually does happen whenever one's a little stressed out.
But he knew he could come to you. He knew that you could help him. He knew that you were the one that, in this situation, he could depend on. And he appreciates it so much.
It wasn't just because... Are you sure it wasn't just because I was able to do it? He wanted to ask me?
Mm-hmm. Well, he could have contacted his mother, or Miss Toki, or anyone else if he thought they could, but he saw you as the most dependable source. And you are his mother. Why could he not go to you? He loves both of you, you see. But Alan is the type of boy that does not wish to be a hindrance or a bother to anyone else. When he has every right to be, if the people that care about him are willing to be there for him. He,
Then he's
like a
not...
rabbit,
Then he's not angry.
he probably was angry at the time. I mean, it probably seemed to him. Alan says that we are more than his Navis. We are his friends. So, to him, it wasn't you testing his net navis or examining them, and he saw that you were being a little harsh to his friends. But you had good intentions, and he does well acknowledge that.
I didn't mean yesterday.
Mm?
Don't worry about it.
Mm.
You're a good girl, Yome.
Mm.
I'll have to step it up next time.
Step it up?
The next time I try to do something like this. It was much too easy for you to do this after I put all those things against you. Not sure what to do then. Maybe instead of asking for dinner, I'll ask for a dessert, or maybe something more complicated.
I know how to make a sandwich.
Of course you do.
It was the first thing Alan taught me to do.
You know, I can make a sandwich as well.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of sandwich?
Uh...
I
Well-
can make bacon, lettuce, and tomato, and I can make a grilled cheese with an egg on top. And I can make beef stroganoff.
Like every.
What the fuck did he say?
He said like every normal person.
I can do all of these
Literally
things.
bumping out with the fucking BLT and the grilled cheese.
No, because she was like, I can make a sandwich too, and she was like,
You can
learn to
make
cook?
fucking beef
That's so
stroganoff.
cool.
You okay? You cut out for a second.
She was just like, you learn to cook? That's so cool.
You know how to make food, and that is amazing. Playing dumb.
I don't. I'm usually more into cold sandwiches.
Oh, sandwiches can be made. Oh, well, yes, the BLT was not cooked except for the bacon. That makes sense.
I'm more speaking of caprese.
Huh?
A capri sandwich.
What
It
is that?
has basil, tomato, and mozzarella. It's pretty simple, but it's really delicious.
It is still a sandwich.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
I'll show you sometime.
Of course, I would love to learn.
She stands up again, just kind of like putting the oatmeal onto the table in front of her. It's a bit too much. I might not be able to finish it.
Oh, my apologies. We can save it.
I probably rested enough. Should probably get back to working on the project.
Do you
She's only
still
from what you understand, she's probably only been asleep for like 2 or 3 hours.
You've only been asleep for a short time, and that is not healthy.
I can't let Quakeman do all the work. I don't think that I can allow him to really work on too much of the more important factors of this.
Bug Vader is helping him out.
Bug Vader?
Mm-hmm. The
Right,
copybot
he
that is
said that
missing.
he said he was working with him.
Mm-hmm.
It does
And-
still make me wonder.
Mm?
No, don't worry about it. Never mind. It's Scilab stuff.
Oh, of course. You also required my help, did you not?
Maybe. She looks over towards you. I was already going to have you be inside of that bot, remember? If you won this.
Mm-hmm.
The vanity model. Where's your friend Bug Vader?
He was helping Quakeman earlier, and then, as we were approaching, Dr. Walter stopped us because his sink was flooding.
Oh.
And Bug Vader went to help him out. Or at least, clean up the mess, while Dr. Walter went to work.
He looks back over towards you. Or she does. Do you know what they did?
I think Bug Vader said they had tampered with the water?
Gotcha. She just kind of like nods. Whatever. None of my business. If you insist, I'll go and lay down for another hour or so. Could you be sure to wake me up in 2 hours?
Of course. I will, leave this
I promise
copy.
I promise I'll get a better sleep tonight.
I will leave this copy bot so that it is not on the premises any longer than it needs. I should have actually switched when I came to the apartment.
I'll be sure to get the vanity model whenever I wake up. You can come with me.
Will you not temper it?
If you come with me, I won't have the chance, will I?
Of course.
She starts walking away. You're pretty sharp. As she walks off into her room, she seems to go in there, but as soon as she does, as soon as she closes the door, you do notice what appears to be a light underneath the door frame. She seems to have turned on her personal computer while she was in there.
Sleep!
Do you say that?
Yes.
She flips
She
you off.
stands
I'm
in front of
kidding.
the door and says, "Sleep."
Just a moment, and I will.
If I come back in 5 minutes and that computer is still on, I will come back and say sleep.
Do you think that would work?
I hope it will.
At that, You see the
Can
light.
ya?
You see the light seem to go off underneath the door frame.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna schloop out of this copy bot and get into this one now, so that this one can go home and I don't freaking overcharge Savannah.
Voop, 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 voop.
Yay!
As you get into your new copy bot, I think this is going to be a good time for us to end things off for the day. It's almost
Yeah,
It's almost 1 a.m.
Now this part has a substantial amount of content.
Oh no, you found me out. Anyway, as you switch over to your different copy bot, Bug Vader, you eventually make your way off toward Miss Garnet's room. As you get there, you notice, upon going inside, Quakeman seemed to have been over by the computer. You saw what appeared to have been a small jack-in over toward the computer, as he seemed to be going through some of the areas here, just kind of performing maintenance on the computers that are there. However, as you make your way in, you do notice that he seemed to have the same email up over on the other area as was up before. He looks over at you, and as he does, he kind of like looks down towards you. Bug Vader, could you please tell me while you were going through the Mrs. emails? To be continued.
You idiot! You didn't put them back on unread?
No, they were read before.
He just he just knows you went through them. Oh, you're dead now. I'm not saving you. Oh no. Oh no, he's dead already.
You never put it back down? No, he definitely returned everything to how it was before, Cyan.
Oof.
He didn't leave any from what he can say, he didn't leave much of any trace that he was even there.
It was something I realized much later on. It's because the copy bot I'm in.
Wait, why did you look through her emails though?
Again,
They
I
have both of
realized
the copy bot.
after.
Yeah, they have both of the copy bots you guys were at fucking tracked.
Well, here's the thing. It's like he was in the office to see her, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did he? I was away for a little bit. When did he look through her emails?
While he was in the office, whenever she left,
Why?
because they were there.
Bug Vader, why? You're
Just
so
while I
bad.
was cleaning the desk, I was cleaning the mouse as well.
But how? How does it know? How does it know?
The mouse needed cleaning.
How does it know that the how did it know? How did she know that the copy bot looked at a computer for an extended period of time? No!
There could be plenty of reasons. If we don't want to consider the copybot aspect of things, he was also in there for quite a good amount of time, and potentially the area has some sort of things. However, from what she had said while she was with you, she had said that she wouldn't put surveillance up in her room.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows, man?
Thankfully, I didn't go through the Walter one, so I might be able to squeeze through this one with minimal damage.
Oh man, I gotta like re-listen to that part to know what you learned.
I was gonna tell you later in character.
The only thing that he seemed to have learned was that Alan's mom and the president were like sharing back and forth information about Alan's grades and his diet and his copybot usage.
Diet and his diet?
Mm-hmm. They seem to know all the different times whenever you guys chose meals for him. Because that leaves an electric print. Because you guys had to tell the school every time whenever you guys picked the meals.
Yeah, and then his copybot usage, I guess the PET would, or at least the school ID would pick up. Okay.
It was only the public copybots. It wasn't the times you were in the Miss Toki's.
Yeah, no, I figured that much, but like, what does that have to do? What's wrong with that? Like,
well, one thing that that Vader learned whenever that happened was that during the time that he can't remember, whenever he was deleted before, he saw that he had used the trains twice. One of them going to a location that you guys hadn't been to before. Which is over by the docks.
Ah. So then, considering how long he was in there, and maybe copybot shenanigans, but I don't know why Quake Man would know about that. Then yeah, one can assume that you stayed in there for an extra long time because you probably snooped. But I feel like it might be a bit more with the potentially copybot tampering. But I feel like at the same time, if it was copybot tampering, I feel like she would have just made it so that you don't get near her computer. If she can make it so sophisticated that you have no
here's
sort of
the thing. She probably did that on purpose.
to like test you, I guess as a test.
That's really weird how when she left, she's like, "Hey, could you clean my desk?"
That is oddly that is like, well, clean your desk yourself. Why do you care now?
I love how both times she showed somewhat niceness to you guys, like, "Oh, fucking make me something to eat," and "Oh, could you clean this for me, pretty please?" Like, I got to turn it back on you guys super hard.
Hey, Bug wasn't having it. It was Vader.
Well, I mean, again, there's.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Man, I hope you can talk your way out of that. I sure as fuck couldn't.
I think it could.
You'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Well,
Everything's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. As everything's going through, my guys, I hope that you guys liked today's episode. I know it was decently long. I'm not entirely sure how long the other part was, but this is another hour and a half added onto that.
I think the other one was maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. We did a pretty decently long session.
Either way, I just know I was gonna go to bed for a while, but I was like, I'll wait for a time for a pause during Yome and the talk.
There was no pause.
No, so I was just kind of...
Sorry, it went everywhere like it did.
But
oh, by the way, I don't think I gave it to you, but 31 minutes ago, Han did give you $8. Says oof for Yome.
Ooh.
Because you had used up all of your inspiration. However, I knew you weren't going to have any more rolls at that point, so I was just going to finish the scene.
Either way,
okay.
like the game, I'm going to bed.
All right, later, my dude.
Yeah. Night, Will.
1, 2, 3, 4. There you go.
Yeah.
I had to copy your actual regular dice so you can name those Yome inspirations if you want.
Yeah.
But yes, I wanted to wait until we were done with that because I knew there weren't going to be any more rolls anyway. But yeah, there's some neat stuff going on there. Who's to say? You guys learned quite a bit from chatting with Sleepy Her and then from talks after Sleepy Her. I will say this: if you hadn't have seen that part of her, she probably would have been a lot more like bitchy when it came to the breakfast.
Yeah.
Again, because she wouldn't have been distracted by her other things going on. But she'd probably be like, "Oh, what's this? Why didn't you use the stuff that's here?" and stuff like that. It's like, what do you mean fucking use the stuff that's here? and then she would have probably just like motioned over toward the fridge and the counters and stuff, and you would have seen that there would have been stuff there.
Yeah. Well, it's good that it went this route instead.
She would have still been very kind of bitchy with it. But again, you could have probably still talked her down with some stuff. I'm glad it went this way. This way was pretty fun.
No, this way was nice. I liked this way. I did not expect. Well, here's the thing. I knew there was definitely a risk in getting in bed with her, but Yome was like, I couldn't get in last time. She probably there's just no laying in bed. I can lay in bed.
If you would have tried to do that with Savannah, I would have been like, oh yeah, no, you get in.
Yeah, but the little D4 rolled Alan, so we were gonna go try lay down with Alan.
Yeah, dude, that's perfectly fine.
Then she just assumed I probably just can't lay down in general. Why would a copybot need to sleep anyway?
Definitely, 100%.
And she definitely wouldn't allow it in Alan's room. She was like, if I can't even lay down in her bed, there's no way I can lay down on Alan's bed.
You could definitely lay down. You could definitely lay on Alan's bed as long as Alan wasn't in it.
Well, her thought process was, if Alan room, no.
She's a treat. And again, as she mentions, like if you come with her to get the bop, then how is she supposed to tamper with it? Unless she's already tampered with it, who's to say? But you know.
Yeah.
That depends on how much you trust her at that point.
Yeah. She already called me a good girl. She's probably gonna take advantage of that. They're like, you're a good, stupid girl.
You're a good girl.
Look at you being stupid.
Everybody was waiting too in the chat, like whenever you had mentioned that he kissed you, they were just waiting for her to go off on you, and she was like, "Oh, it's just that, okay."
Fuck, you made it sound like he fucking pinned you down and ravished you and shit. What the fuck?
I bet
you want that though, huh, you little whore?
I would really have to cover that up somehow. I'd have to erase your memory or whatever. I don't know. I could never see the light of day.
I mean, it's not like the only people who would have seen it is Cross and Bug Vader.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for telling me that other people saw it and I have to erase their memories.
And then his dad walked in.
Well, now he has to go.
Now he has to die. Die? That seems like kind of a bit of a jump there, miss.
I don't think you understand. He has to die.
Why does he have to die?
Bye, Martin.
He's your best friend.
I don't know if anybody picked up on it, but like whenever you had said like dear or honey or whatever, she seemed really upset. But whenever you said Lisa, she seemed legitimately happy. So like, you know, she's like, fucking Martin, I don't see you that way, damn it.
Fuck off. Don't even joke about that shit. Like, come on, one more round for the good old
Get out of my bed, Martin. Fucking come on. I'm sure you can go get one of your stocks friends.
Poke, poke. Is this my finger or is it my... No.
Martin, we both know that's your finger. I'm playing.
Thanks for the compliment.
Guys, before we go any further with this, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We enjoyed ourselves. Any questions, comments, complaints, or wisecracks in the comments below. We'll see you next time if we finish up any of this, any of the things happening here. Potentially learn some more about what could possibly be going on over in this place, and maybe seeing if Alan had a good day at school. Who's to say, my dudes? But I hope everyone enjoys themselves. And until next time, guys, like always. That's my line. Fucking. Anyway, why don't you guys jump on this raid here? This might be pretty fun. Heading over to that boy Rainbow Waffles.
If I'd known you were gonna, I thought you were gonna ask about the rainbow thing. Cause you know Kylie from Kynem, who did the Miss of Unova.
Mm-hmm.
She's streaming right now.
I'm already raiding somebody.
I know. Yeah,
I can't send them over there now.
That's why I'm just like, oh darn, you already did the fucking raid
it's
shit.
It's fine. She has a ton of people probably.
She has 10.
Well, I've already done this. Hope everybody enjoying themselves. Head over there. Tell them that we sent you. Throw in some commander buddies. Throw in some. I wish you could throw in the Yomeis, but they're not available yet. And until next time, guys. Like always, later days.
Bye.
Yeah, I'd already pushed the /raid